All right. Well, it looks like the number of attendees has stabilized. So, Marian, if you're ready, we'll get started. Like always, we have Q&A at the end of the presentation. But if you have a question in the short term, we have chat and the ability to ask questions on the Zoom platform. So you can go ahead and ask questions there, and I will look at those questions and try and interrupt Marian if the questions are relevant. So Marian, you want to take it away?
Yep. Thank you very much, Tony. Hello, everybody. My name is Marian Beno. I'm a product manager here at Innovatrics. With me sitting Ivan, senior software developer who is working on the integration with NX for some technical questions. So a little bit about the company. Innovatrics is on the market for 15 years. We are independent technology partner for identity management and facial recognition, and also for digital onboarding. We are located in Slovakia in Europe, and we have our own proprietary fingerprint and facial recognition algorithms. These are developed by our research and development department that works just for Innovatrics. Our algorithms are globally recognized and tested and top ranked by National Institute for Standards and Technology. So today I would like to talk about one of our flagship products for facial recognition. The product is called Smartphase Platform. It's a scalable server platform able to process multiple real-time video streams. We do the live detection, live real-time identification in watchlist with millions of members. We also perform face mask detection, age and gender estimation, and all these data are provided to you through real-time notifications, and you can access also the data through REST API. Smartphase Platform is hardware independent. You can install it together with any brand of CCTV cameras. So it just have to be the IP camera. There are some more features that Smartphase provides to you, but we can go through some use cases we focus on. So one of the main use cases we focus on is seamless access control. The idea behind this is that you would like to have seamless and frictionless gate crossing on speed gates or just doors or ramps, and without no stopping, without no device, you just walk through the access point with your face. With the focus on the seamless access control, we provide some further modules and software packages that are providing you the seamlessness. Yeah. So if you walk through, we are tracking you, we identify you, then we filter out other people if they are standing behind, and we will open only to the right person in the right time. Within the seamless access control, you also have a feature called the watchlist auto learn. So we are updating our database, our watchlist every day. So your face is updated every day. So over time, when you change or you aged, then we still have the updated template, and we still have highest accuracy possible. And for seamless access control, obviously, we also have NX witness integration. So in case you are managing your building and you have security cameras, so you are obviously storing the video and you are managing your video. Another use case we focus on is security and surveillance, where we are able to process multiple live streams. We perform real-time detection, real-time identification in blacklist. We are grouping detected people into identities, and we are also tracking people in the video. And again, if you are thinking about security and surveillance, obviously you also need a video management system, and our integration with NX Witness is providing this as well. So and again, another package of some software modules dedicated for this use case. The third use case is investigation, video investigation. We have faster than real-time video processing together with video analysis and integration with our ABIS product. We are able to provide the detection also for investigation purposes. And again, if you have some lot of videos you really like to process, you need VMS. So again, NX Witness integration.
So this is if sorry, Marian, to interrupt, but this is basically if I have an existing archive or a set of videos that I want to analyze, like post recording. Then this is the investigation feature you're talking about.
Yes. So if you have an archive of previous videos, then you can use our investigation station, and it will process the video faster than real time, depending on your hardware resources, and you will get all the information to the video process.
So you mentioned before that you're hardware agnostic, and then you mentioned IP cameras. Are you also hardware agnostic on the kind of the software platform side? Meaning, do you run on various different operating systems, or is your on-prem solution like pegged to like a specific operating system?
Yeah, currently we are running on a Windows platform, but we are really one step to the Linux platform as well. Okay. It depends on the requirements from our clients. So basically, currently we got requirements only on Windows. So in case Linux platform, we are ready because our software is developed on .NET Core. That's Linux ready.
So it's an on-prem solution overall. Is that right?
Yes, Smartphase Platform is an on-premise solution. You can install on Windows Server or Windows 10. But we also have a little module called Cloud Matcher. It's basically a matching service and watchlist management that's also available on cloud and also on Linux.
Okay, so when I install the Smartphase, like, is it just a software platform right now, and then I put it on whatever Windows server hardware I want, or what's the minimum requirements for like the server hardware on-prem?
Yes, you can install it on Windows Server, but in terms of hardware requirements, you need one processor, one core per camera stream.
And one CPU core?
Yes.
Okay.
One CPU core per one stream.
While you're processing?
Yes, and you need approximately 4 gigabytes of RAM of memory per one stream.
So you guys use CPU, not GPU, to do the analytic itself?
User can define it.
Okay.
We have algorithms that can work on CPU, neural networks that works on CPU. But in case you would like to the highest or the best accuracy algorithm that's really greedy in terms of hardware resources, it can run also on GPU. Also, the template generation and an extraction of data like age and gender runs faster on GPU.
So the
and
GPU,
it's also possible to run it.
Is there like a minimum spec requirement for GPU, or is it's just whatever GPU is available on a machine? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we running on all GPUs that support the CUDA architecture.
CUDA architecture? Okay.
Yeah, CUDA, CUDA.
Yeah, NVIDIA basically, right?
Yes. And also we require at least 2 gigabytes of GPU memory.
Yeah.
At least. So it's higher the better, obviously.
All right, so just to recap, it's an on-prem solution. It installs on Windows. It can run on CPU or GPU, and GPU is obviously going to give you better performance, but GPU has to be CUDA architecture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we support mostly NVIDIA graphic cards.
I don't think anybody else does CUDA, do they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. That's helpful. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I just threw a wrench in your.
So we would like to show you some live demo for Smartphase Platform. I'm going to switch to our software called Access Station. This is the software dedicated for seamless access control. As you can see, I have some notifications here already. And since this is the live presentation, I'm going to walk out of our meeting room in Bratislava offices. I'm going to walk towards the camera that's installed here in the offices next to our programmers. I'm going closer. And since this is me, and I came to the camera, and currently you can see that the notification called restricted. This is the notification coming from blacklist, and it appears 4 times because every 5 seconds the user is notified that there is a restricted person. So I can clear the notifications. You can see right now the watchlist management. We have the watchlist for Innovatrics people, and we have a blacklist for some restricted personnel. Yeah, I'm enrolled here, and if I go back to dashboard, this is our colleague. This is me again, and I can call my colleague here, Teresa. Come closer, Teresa, please. And if she walks through, and if she waits with me for a longer moment, you will see the yellow notification called unidentified. So we won't have Teresa in the watch list, so she's unidentified. In case someone will be there that's on the watch list. For example, my colleague is going through. Yeah, so you see he went and he was let in. Okay, so
a question for you, Marian. On the UI here, you got a little number that shows up, right? 74, 78, 76. Those are confidence levels. Is that right?
Yes, this is basically a biometric score that defines the confidence of the neural network that the detected and identified person is the one from the watch list. It is important to say that this is not a percentage. This is the biometric number, the score that it's provided by a neural network.
It's a number that's calculated, but it's not a percentage. It's just So what's the high end of it?
So it goes from 0 to 100, and it has the function has a logarithmic curve. And
then the user can set is user configurable in terms of whether or not it makes the blacklist or not. So for example, if I said anybody over 50%, or sorry, not 50, it's not a percent. Anybody over 50, I want to show.
Yes.
I want to see. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, for every watch list, you can set the threshold.
Gotcha.
So in this threshold is it is important to set this up properly with some testing, because it depends on the number of people in watch list. So, for example, if you have 7 people in the watch list, then obviously you don't need the really high threshold, because these people are not similar. But if you will have, for example, 1 million people in the watch list, then you would have a lot of people that are quite similar. So you have to set up the higher threshold.
So
Also,
basically, I hear what you're saying. So like, if you're in a situation where you've got lots of people and there might be a lot of similarity, then you want the threshold to be high so that you're not giving false positives,
yes,
right?
exactly. Also, it's about the comfort. So if you, for example, are opening a speed gate that's located in front of some reception where you
Right.
have some personal, you can lower the threshold, and you are not going to let in someone who's not belong there, because you have the security personnel there. But if you are going to open, I don't know, some laboratory or some restricted area, you will hide the threshold, and your employees won't mind that they have to stand there for a second, or
Yeah.
they, with a noise face.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Right. So this was the Smartphase platform, and let's get to the integration with Smartphase with NX Witness. Right. So, what are the benefits? So, all the features or the information that Smartface platform provides you, like real-time detection, real-time identification, live tracking, face mask detection, grouping, and etc., all the features, all the data are stored together with your video in the video management system in NX. So if you have NX Witness and you are storing the information and you are storing the video, all the historic data, all the videos you stored are together with the information provided from SmartFace. What are these information? This is me standing in the offices. We are detecting a face. We store it in the object. So this is the Metadata SDK integration, and we send all the objects we detect, so faces, into the NX, and we provide the information about age, gender, whether the person wears a mask or not, what's the name from the watch list in case the person is identified, and what's the watch list, and what's the biometric score. So
I have a question, Marian. The age estimation. What's the range? What's the plus minus on that?
It is just the estimation.
Yeah.
So it vary +3, -3.
Plus 3, -3, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious because I know that like some of your competitors do it as well, and they have like a similar type +3, -3 range. So.
Yes, it's quite difficult. You need a lot of data to train the neural network,
Yeah.
and this is something that can be used, for example, in retail analytics. So if you would like to have information what kind of people are visiting your store, for example, I don't know, 30 years old male is the most.
Yeah, just retail analytics, like in cap analytics
So
and all
in
that kind of
average,
stuff.
in average, it will work. If you get the average data, then it will work. Because you have a lot of data there.
Yeah, so I mean, the basic point you're making on this slide here is that it works with our solution the way that anything that's integrated with the Metadata SDK works, right?
Yeah.
The difference being with Innovatrics is that they bring in all this information right here. right?
Yes.
So you're going to show us how it works in the real world here in a second, right?
Yes.
But you have one more slide to show the architecture before we do that,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. And together with Optix, we are also sending the analytics events. So you can set up about the rules in NX Witness, and based on these rules, there can be a lot of action.
So you guys do the blacklisting, whitelisting
Yes.
events. Gotcha.
So about the architecture, if you are interested in more technical details, this is one screenshot from our documentation. Basically, we created the Smartphase Analytics plugin that's installed within the NX Witness. And this plugin is sending frames to Smartphase camera service that's responsible for communication with Smartphase Platform. This is really good architecture. We discuss it directly with software engineers from NX. And we decided to do this in this way because Smartphase Platform do the heavy lifting, do the detection, because it requires more resources, for example, than NX Witness. And you can install it on a separate machine, for example, with the GPU. And when it's installed on a separate machine, it won't affect your NX Witness. And you will save the throughput in your infrastructure because Smartphase camera service is doing just the communication and the tracking, and can be installed on the NX Witness server. So when the communication is working, the camera service is sending the metadata about detected faces, identified people, and so on to the Smartphase Analytics plugin. And the plugin is creating the objects and analytics events and sending it to the NX Witness. Okay, so we can also show you the live demo we have prepared for you. Again, our offices. And
Marian, did you plan on wearing the orange shirt so you match the orange wall?
No, this is just a coincidence. So I'm walking from the meeting room towards the camera, and you can see I'm detected. So the NX is saying that I'm 38, 42, 40 male. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm identified as Marian Beno from the blacklist. And in the right side, you can see the objects. This is my colleague. You see that he's not.
You got the text coming up, the text overlay saying not matched. That's cool.
Yes. This is the rule we created for the analytics event. So, and if I scroll a little bit down, this is the older information. So you see that the data is available also for the historic.
You can also search by the information as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I have a question. The ID, that's just a unique identifier for that face?
That's the yes.
So if I use this in a retail environment and I don't necessarily want to have someone's identity, I could just the ID thing to track them.
Actually, this ID is the ID of a watchlist.
Okay.
We have also the ID of the person.
Okay.
So it's available as well. And I also have some masks ready here. So if I use the facial mask, I'm not sure if you can hear me. So if I have a facial mask, it says mask is present, and I'm still identified with really high score. So the algorithm is really strong. And even if I put on my sunglasses, yeah, I'm still detected, and I'm even recognized as Marian, even with the sunglasses and face mask. So I take off the mask. So now it says no mask, and I'm still identified.
Do you guys detect glasses or obstructions other than masks?
No. Currently, we are detecting only a mask.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so
I have another question about your plugin settings. I mean, you've got it open on your screen right now. Can you go to the system administration and then show these guys where the plugin itself is?
I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Yes.
No problem.
Okay. Administration. Yep.
Yeah, just the hamburger menu, or right-click system administration, and then plugin.
Yep. I forgot my mouse. Give me just a second. Yep.
So right now, your plugin configuration is just fairly simple, right? You install the plugin, and then where did you configure how to connect to your server? I guess is my question.
It's on the camera. So if I go through the camera settings, and I see the plugin here, I will connect to the stream.
So you did the connections on a camera by camera basis.
Yes.
Rather than on a system basis. That way you could have multiple SmartFace servers running potentially. Is that why you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and you can also have the camera processing on different servers.
Right.
And,
right. So this way you can really flexibly assign each camera to each independent SmartFace server out there. Got you. Okay.
And you can also see the analytics events available, the person identified or person unidentified here.
Yeah, so if you uncheck one of those, it's not going to show up anymore in the metadata that's coming through.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Gotcha. But it'll still be created and stored inside a SmartFace in case you needed it for later.
Yes, yes, it will. Okay.
Cool. I'm actually really impressed with how stable and smooth your integration is. I mean, we've looked at, we have a lot of different partners we work with that do object-based stuff, and one of the challenges is really getting it to be super tight and smooth and stable. And I know it's something that our developers have been working on with our partners, but your implementation is definitely the smoothest one I've seen so far. So
yeah, thank you very much, Tony. It means a lot to us, but it works because we were really we tried really hard, and we also communicated with your software engineers, even though they told us to use a forum, but we asked directly to communicate directly, and we also fixed some of the bugs, and we also reported some of the bugs, and we do our best, to have a best feeling from the integration.
And it took you said about 6 weeks?
It's about we integrated it for about six weeks or so.
About 6 weeks. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice looking integration. All right. You did the demo. How to buy, very important.
Yes. So we have our sales guys located in United States, in Europe, in Asia and Pacific region, or Middle East. So, but if you would like to have more information about integration or about Smartphase Platform, you can just ping us to sales@innovatrics.com.
Easy.
And is easy, and one of our representative from the region will.
How do you guys license it? Is it on a camera basis?
It's server based.
Server based, so it's per server, but how does that work? Is it for a certain number of database records, or?
So we license it based on the hardware ID. So if you install it on your server, you will get the ID of the server, and we will license it. And you pay for a number of cameras, and or in case you have small number of cameras or high number of cameras and small number of watch lists, you can also use the watch list size license. Let's call it watch list size license. It's based on basically on the use case you have.
So but it's primarily based on the number of cameras that you need to do analytics on, right?
Yeah.
And then in turn, if it's a small number, then it'll be per camera, and if it's a large project, you guys are flexible and you can come up with a pricing model that works.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Exactly. And because you can have a watch list of size, for example, millions. So and use only one camera, and it's going to be a bit more difficult. So then we have to change the licensing.
Yeah, I hear you. The other thing that just to remind everybody is the integration with NX Witness or any other powered by NX product is free. We don't charge for integrations. So questions and answers. I've asked some questions myself, but you guys out there, I'm sure you have questions, maybe, possibly because Marian did a pretty good presentation, so maybe not. But if you guys do have questions, now is the time to feel free to ask any question you have. If there are no questions, then, oh, there we go. Enrollment. How do you enroll faces?
Okay, so it's really easy. You can do it directly from the application, from the we presented today. You can do it through the REST API, obviously, or you can use our mobile registration application that's connected to your server. So you can just take a selfie and do a self-enrollment.
Can you do it via the API where you send in a face that you've pulled from somewhere else?
Yes, yes.
There you go. So it just basically needs like a PNG or a JPEG image? Does it have to be a specific? Okay, gotcha. Do you have an example of a price, like an MSRP for let's say you had a retail location and you only had one or two cameras that you wanted this on? What would that, is there an MSRP type price range that you could communicate to these guys?
It's really difficult to say. It really depends on the use case and all the integrations that are required and the deployment.
And is pricing is pricing one time or is it like a recurring thing?
We are also providing a recurring pricing model, but most common is the one-time price, and it also depends on the region, the use case. Also, it's difficult to say now.
Okay. Do you have a free trial version?
Yes, we do. We can provide the installation files with a trial for a month. And test it, try it.
Miguel also asked if it integrates with other VMSs, and I'm going to say, yeah. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, there are some.
But why would you want to use another VMS? It's a follow-up question to that. So
we have to say that from our experience, the NX works really, really good. It's as you saw, it's really smooth. The integration works pretty well. It's stable. You have all the data, and the configuration of cameras was also quite easy with the plugin. So from my point of view, it's the NX Witness works really good.
Miguel, I'm just making fun of you. It's okay. We know the world is huge, but guys, remember there are two types of products out there, right? There's NX Witness, which is a product that you can get directly from us, but there's also what we call powered by NX products, which are built with our Meta development platform. So there's a lot of companies around the world that use powered by NX products. So if you can't find NX Witness in your local market, then there's probably a powered by NX product you can find. And the nice thing about it is that Innovatrics, they did the integration once. It works with every single one of our downstream powered by NX products, right? So that's one thing to be clear of. The other thing I wanted to note was when you showed if you could you pull up the software again? Our software with the integration?
Yep.
So one thing I wanted to show you guys that is really cool is on the timeline itself at the bottom, when you go and you do into the search mode, then you'll notice that, and I can't see it right now because of a Zoom window, I think. But basically, the yellow that shows up at the bottom is the metadata that's being brought in by a third-party plugin, right?
Yep.
And
Yes.
what our developers like to say is that you can search by metadata, right, on the timeline, just like Smart Motion. You can search a year's worth of archive in less than a second for metadata. So you could store a camera for a year and then search through all of it, look through the entire archive in less than a second. So the ability to kind of search there, and I think the stuff you're going to see is that you're going to start to see the metadata themselves is so valuable, right? That these solutions are going to become pretty much mainstream, especially when it comes to people and objects. Basically, the ability to find things, the ability to search through the archive, the ability to say, oh, who is where doing what, or even to get notified of like more advanced behaviors. That's where this is all going, right? So, all right, that was my point. I just wanted to show the search feature there because that's something that I think that people who haven't used this before don't know about.
You can see now I'm filtering all the mails detected. Currently, it's a lot of me and my colleague because, yeah, we are there. Yeah.
We're also working on like kind of like plus type filters where you can go like mail plus this plus no mask plus this, you know. So basically, and then zoom it down to like a specific time frame, right? So it's just a tremendous tool for doing investigations itself. All right, sorry, Maya, didn't mean to hijack your.
No problem. No problem.
Any other questions out there besides the price? If not, I think multi-face detection speeds for large crowds. So, Marian, the multi-face detection speeds for large crowds, my guess is it has to do with pixel density and the number of GPUs you have?
Yes. It depends on the resolution of the video stream. Basically, we are able to detect a face that's 17 points, 17 pixels of size.
17 pixels is the minimum?
Yeah, is the minimum of the face we can detect. So in case you have 4K video stream, the 17 pixels is really, really far. So you have really small face and we can detect it. In terms of number of faces, we are able to detect a lot of faces. Again, it depends on the hardware. So the lot of hardware is required also for extraction. So when we detect 100 faces, you need to perform 100 extractions. So again, you need a powerful graphic card for such performance.
I mean, like, have you guys been brought into projects, things like subway systems or anything like that, where you have a large number of faces like that coming in? You know, the quantity of faces.
We were working with a Slovak national football stadium here in Bratislava. We have one project in a subway currently in progress, but that's not the detection of among the crowd. It was basically more about the spoof detection. So when people were jumping over or tailgating to access the subway without paying, we try to detect them and identify them later on. And in the football stadium with the crowds, we were detecting some hooligans and not authorized people, and so we have some experience with such projects.
What is the main? This is a general question for you. What is the main industry you guys see face detection being used in? Like as in like the most common use case that you guys see?
So obviously security and surveillance in airports, in the cities, but also the access control. We have some projects where we open the gates for a campus. So there is a security officer or security staff that has the tablet, and they see on the tablet like who is accessing the campus, and they can open the ramp or keep it closed because the person is not identified.
Right.
And the currently also investigation. And this is basically main three use cases we are focusing on, and also retail, but it's a bit tricky because it requires a lot of post processing
Yeah.
for analytics, for gathering the data, and everybody wants different types of data, different types of information. So there is a lot of customization there.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling our guys to build a custom reporting engine so that people can just create their own reports, kind of like Google
Yeah.
Analytics, Google State Data Studio, something like that, right?
Yes, and we are experts in facial and fingerprint biometry. We are not experts on creating reports, so
Exactly.
we try to focus on the use cases where the main thing is accuracy and speed.
And you guys have a REST API so that if a customer has a special reporting requirement, then they could use your API to basically pull
Yes,
information out and put it into a third-party data set or database or
exactly. So
whatever.
exactly, clients just can create whatever they would like to, and they can access all the data that Smartphase is creating from the processed video.
It's nice to see you guys taking that approach because in the security surveillance industry, which I've been in for like 20 years, right? I mean, most of the companies have always decided that they want to keep their development tools for themselves, right? And they want to charge you like $5,000 a year to be part of their program so that you can then get access to their developer tools and get tested for being integrated with them, right? And we take a
Mm-hmm.
fundamentally different approach, which is, yeah, here's all the developer tools, right? Go nuts. Um, from our perspective, it's much more important to be open and extensible and allow customers and integrators and technology providers, service providers out there to create the solutions their customers actually want, right? As opposed to we'll go ahead and do all the reporting for you in this fixed format, and here you go, right? So we follow the same process as you guys, which is we have that API that allows you to basically pull out any information from the system you want, right? And I believe it includes the object metadata that we're pulling from plugins as well now. So, if you guys are integrators out there, if you're not very familiar with REST APIs, I suggest you get familiar with them because they're not very difficult. And they make it really easy to move information around and create kind of custom experiences for your customers, which, if you're an integrator, you understand that if you can provide your customer exactly what they want, they will pay you what you want, right? So from a business perspective, we want to enable that type of approach to business, right? Let the integrators create exactly what the customers want. And then that way they can bring more value to the project. And the other thing is longer term, if you've created something fully custom for your customer based off of these REST APIs in terms of like what the data is, you can pull it up inside of NX Witness or Powered by NX product with the embedded browser. But you also now have that longer term relationship because if they want to move away from you, then they have to find somebody else to replicate what you've done for them, right? So that's my developer spiel out there for you guys who don't do any development yet. You should get into the REST API and HTTP stuff because it is dead simple, but it brings an immense amount of value. So Any questions? What's the best way to contact for pricing and trials? You want to go back to your previous slide with the how to buy, Marian?
Yep.
There you go. Sales@innovatrix.com, and it's Innovatrix, not Innovatrics, right?
Yes.
I was calling it Innovatrics for a long time. Innovatrix.
It depends, the pronunciation is different in Slovakia than it's in English.
Yeah, and you said the company is 5 years old?
15.
15, sorry, 15 years old. So it was like, what was it doing at the beginning? Machine learning? Like traditional analytics?
Fingerprints.
Oh,
Fingerprints algorithms. Currently in Nist test and NIST testing, we are one of the top fingerprints algorithm providers in the world. We are fighting for the first and second rank,
Why? Here's a question for you. Why does everybody use NIST? The Nist?
Yeah, because that's the independent. Basically, that's the independent testing company institute.
Standards. Yeah.
Standard. Yeah. So and it's basically sure that they are not paid, or you can't pay them to be in a higher rank or so.
So they're unbiased in their testing approach.
Yes, they are unbiased. And if you want to test the algorithm, they are really good at it. They have different categories for fingerprints, also for faces, and they are not going to just say like, oh look, these are good and these are not good. They really say like, okay, these are good in the category called wild. For example, we were best in the wild category. So wild category is about pictures that has a bad quality.
Yeah.
So you have profile pictures, shady, blurry, with the bad lighting conditions, and we were best in the face recognition in such images. And this is just one of 13 or 14 categories they are testing the solutions on.
So 15 years ago, though, when you started working on the fingerprint stuff, was it also neural network deep learning driven, or was it more traditional machine learning?
No. The neural networks are commercially used only in the last 3-4 years.
Right.
Or so, and we were using more traditional algorithms.
Gotcha. So the traditional ones, I'm just curious, the traditional ones, do they use more or less GPU than the neural network driven ones?
Yes.
Less
GPU. Hold on, the neural networks?
Yeah, my question was, which one uses more processing or requires more processing, the traditional ones?
Yeah,
or
neural networks, and it's like 100 times more than the traditional algorithms.
So the neural networks require more GPU, but the benefits of the neural networks are what? More accuracy?
I wouldn't put it like this. They require more resources, maybe, and or more processing power, and the GPU is providing more processing power.
Yeah, well, I mean, my question was, if the traditional analytics require less processing power, right? But the neural networks require more processing power, then why would I want to throw more processing power at it? What are the benefits of neural networks versus the traditional analytics for our kind of listeners out there? If you're able to explain that.
I'm not.
If not, it's okay.
I'm not an expert in neural networks, but the neural networks provide you better results than the traditional algorithms.
Yeah, like the way I explain it to people is basically traditional analytics work really well in a specific environment with specific lighting at a specific height for the most height, right? You have some limitations on the environment. Whereas the neural networking is more like a human being, meaning you can put it in any sort of situation. and it'll still do its job for the most part as long as some basic conditions are met, like pixel density, right?
Yes.
So that's why you want to use the neural network based stuff for like face recognition. Is you get better results in the real world. It's more accurate because of those, because it's less contingent on the environment that it gets installed in, right? So that's my kind of feeling about it. But I thought I'd ask you as someone who works in the industry directly. So. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, it is we're coming up on an hour, and I can let everybody go about 10 minutes early. But thank you, Marian, for showing us the Innovatrics solution. Like I said,
Thank you very much, Tony.
I'm very impressed with it. It's compatible with version 4.1 of NX Witness VMS and all the other powered by NX products out there. So you could implement it on a project today, assuming you got the trial version and set it up. So Innovatrics, everybody, thank you, Marian, and thank you everybody for taking the time to come to our Works with the Next webinar. This will be available on our my.networkoptix.com. You know what? I'm gonna take over, maybe.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony, for the opportunity.
No problem. Thank you for taking the time. All right, let's see. So on my.networkoptix.com, I got to get rid of all the Zoom windows here. If you go to the webinars section here, it's going to be available here under the Works of the Next webinars in the next 24 to 48 hours. So you'll be able to find the webinar, the presentation, and the contact information for Innovatrics there. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Marian. Everybody have a good day. Bye, guys.